fair to say you saw a car making a U-turn on the video and you saw it was a little odd?
Yes.
It piqued your interest?
Well, it just, yeah, it did. I wouldn't say it piqued my interest. It just went with the situation, I guess.
I think you said you thought on direct, you testified, you thought that the person driving that car may have heard or seen something, correct?
Yes, I did.
Welcome back to the channel. What is going on with the Going Zone with Shannon and a third car that was at the scene of Mr. Drink's shooting that the prosecution team never looked into? We're going to get straight into it. I'm going to show you video of that third car and walk you through what I see, and comment below and give me your opinion of what you see. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell so when I get the drop, you get the drop. And thank you for tuning in. Let's get it. Okay, here comes Mr. Drinks right there. He stops at the light. There goes the Audi. And there goes the Fusion. Now pay attention. They're sitting there. And Drinks, pay attention to Drinks, which is the first car, is on the brakes. Pay attention to his brake lights. Now, the cars are turning to get on the freeway in front of them. Now, pay attention. Here come this car speeding up, which looks like a white Dodge Charger. There it is there. When they see that car speeding up, Shannon pulls off in the white Audi. He pulls out. Then the Fusion pulls out. Then the Charger pulls up to Drinks. And then, right here, pay attention to Drinks' lights. They're flashing. And then this car hits a U-turn. See there? See his light? And something's going on. Whoever's in this white Charger, something went down. That's why that car U-turned and got the hell out of it. They were gone. Now I'm going to take you back to the gas station. That white Charger came to the gas station. Didn't get no gas. Pulled in, looked around, and left slowly. Okay, let's go there. Now that I've showed you there was a third car, let me reveal who was in that third car. It came out, we didn't pay attention, months ago. So let's get straight into it.
The state yesterday gave us a Dropbox link, and it includes additional telephone numbers that where an expert, he's already been qualified. His name is Agent Bernie, B-E-R-N-I, from the FBI, has done now an analysis of historical cell site location data, and I'm objecting to that very late, I believe, notice. And then the state has a couple of other, they changed charts. I personally don't have a problem with that, but I need to study them. But the new reports and data and a new phone number, I am not agreeable to.
Okay, an entirely new phone number. Tell me some more, Miss Love.
Yes. So the new phone number is, there was another person in the vehicle during one of the murders in this case that investigators were, during the time we began this trial, they were trying to hash out whether or not this particular person was even in the car, if you will, with some of the alleged parties to the crime.
Okay.
This time, during the course of this trial, the investigators with the Atlanta Police Department that were doing their deep dives into forensic data determined that this person, I don't think that person has been arrested, but this person was also in the car with the co-conspirators during this particular murder.
Okay.
We got it before now, but we got it after the trial began, like between, I think, January and now. And I think it was inadvertent that it had not been disclosed.
All right, wait, can I stop you and get some clarification?
Yes.
When you say we got it, do you mean we got this report from this agent, or we got information that there might have been yet another person in the car and that person, the phone number, and that was going to be investigated?
So those are two separate things. The report from the investigator, from Detective Bernie, involved plotting.
I understand what that means. When did y'all get that?
We recently got those two, because the green store is a thing that recently during trial, and the other location was, what'd you say? So we have two understandings of what exactly. So we're not talking about the plotting of those cell phone numbers. We're just talking about the Boyer cell phone records. We're just talking about the cell phone records.
We're talking, I don't know what we're talking about. That's what I'm trying to pin down. So hang on, yes.
We were given cell phone records linked to Alaska.
Boyd, B-O-Y-D?
Boyer.
Boyer, okay.
On Monday, on yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday. And so that is the late disclosure that we're speaking of.
Okay.
And they were charted as well.
Okay. Nobody really, I'm sorry, do y'all care? Is the objection to the...
leads me to believe that they've had them for a while if they've plotted them.
All right. So the plotting of the cell site location information report done by Agent Bernie, that's of this Boyer phone number?
Yes.
Okay. And y'all just recently asked for that based on some testimony about something?
No, that's a different thing. I literally sat there and conflated two different.
Okay. All right. So then let's back up to the original issue. When did you find out that law enforcement believed that there was another person in the car and had a cell number that they were going to investigate with regard to that to find out whether, in fact, that was a lead?
Okay, so the state knew Boyer was at the scene. The state wants to put him in the car, but what the state fails to realize, the defendants know he wasn't in the car with them. They know he was in his own car. So the state will lose at this because it will be told that he was in his own car. And that was the third car. But the state right now is trying to wiggle their way out of this because they did not want him to be even brought up in the trial because they know what's going on. Because they didn't blame this on these two boys. Shannon and Nichols, and now it's coming out that Shannon and Nichols did not do it. It was someone else in a third car. But let's continue.
Your Honor, I'd like to check with another team member.
Okay.
I don't know the answer.
Can you give me an idea? Let me clarify. You said about something that it was sometime between January and May, and that might have been that you got something. What was that about?
So the conversation that I had with the team member most recently, like 2 days ago, was that I have to turn over these phone records.
Right.
This person was someone that they believe might have been in the car.
Okay.
And they got phone records, and now you know that based on the phone records, this person's been.
Okay, so when did they ask for we or they, not we, but y'all or they asked for the phone records because they thought that might be.
I beg the court to allow.
All right, find that out. And then, do you know when y'all got the cell phone records?
When you said we, I thought you were talking about us. I don't know the answer at all for the Atlanta Police Department, but I can find out.
Okay, so unfortunately for you, we equals, y'all equals, the state equals both the DA's office and the Atlanta Police Department. You know that, and I know sometimes there's a little lag in communication, but I need to know, was it, if they were provided to the defense on Monday, was it last week or was it 4 months ago?
Okay, I can find
out. Because, okay. And what do these cell phone records reveal? That this person did appear to be also in the car?
Yeah.
And
There's two cars.
okay, do you know which car? I mean, there are two cars that obviously one, well, not obviously, at least one contains at least one shooter, right? Is there a assertion that others contain shooters as well, or just people that are involved?
The
Okay.
state is alleging that there's a white car client and Mr. Garlington in
Right.
it, and then another car with Mr. Nichols and Mr. Farley in it. And now it sounds like they're saying that this Boyer phone, whoever owns this phone, was in one of those cars. And I'm inquiring what. I don't know anything.
I'd like to provide that information if I can.
You don't know, you want to check and make sure on that, okay.
Because it was not. Yes.
Okay, how long has the defense known anything whatsoever about this person named Boyer?
Your Honor, for this, I can tell you from my understanding of the discovery, there is zero information on Mr. Boyer except one mention in a jail call. That is it. That from my whole database, I have one mention. That is it. And I have no reports. So the police been investigating and found out that this person allegedly was involved in this killing. I still, to this day, have no reports on it. I never interviewed him. I didn't open on him. He gave me a great defense. I have no idea who this person is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is, potentially significant information for the defense to know about.
I can't say that at the time we did opening that the police had it. I'd like to be able to say.
All right, we'll find out. But there's been a long period of time between opening and now. 8 months to be.
That was 24, okay.
7 or 8 months. So, yeah, we need a lot more information about this. I love how y'all save all of the for late in the day, right before we're wrapping. Y'all going, hey, guess what? So, okay. I mean, it is what it is.
Okay, so now it's going to come out that this information has been available for months, maybe a year. And What the prosecution team did is put the information in the Dropbox, but they put it under somebody else's name so the defense wouldn't have no idea what that information related to. So let's get straight into how they're going to continue to try to wiggle their way out of this. And I consider this Brady information as well, because they knew he was on the scene when this murder happened. And they also see the video that we see of a third car. So let's continue.
And give it to them, give it to the defense in the event that they consider it Brady material was made. But the fact of his, what the Atlanta police went on to get the search warrant for his cell phone records is material that have been provided to the defense.
So you say that Mr. Boyer's existence was revealed in the wiretap that the defense has had for a while. And the number of times he was communicating with Garlington is information that the defense has had for quite some time. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. When did APD secure anything, and it may have been these cell phone records, that caused them to believe he was in the car with Mr. Nichols?
It was reviewing the wiretap data, which caused them to say, oh, this person looks like he's a part of this.
Okay.
And then looking at the number of times and the types of communication between them, they're able to see data exchanges. They were able to compare it to the time that we believe the murder occurred.
Okay.
And they were able to go on the path of.
Okay, so I mean, basically the raw data from which they reach these conclusions is all from the wiretap?
Yes, it's from the wiretaps. And then when they got the cell phone based on what they saw in the wiretaps during their investigation. And I believe that as it relates to the Waters Road incident that occurred during that same time, they were able to, this is still information in the wiretap, but there was communication from Mr. Boyer about what was going on at the Waters Road incident. That's a part of the data that's included within the wire information.
Okay. Have you, his office or APD, conducted any interviews of Mr. Boyer?
No. Not only no interviews, no warrants have been secured either at this time.
All right. I'd like to review the affidavits in support of seeking I assume you got cell site info, and then you separately got contents of cell phone, or did you not need that because you had the wiretap stuff already?
We because no one had any contact with the person himself, we never had access to contents of his cell phone, just his cell phone.
Okay, so when we're saying cell records, it's essentially like location information.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so can you get me the affidavit in support of that, please, to review? Yes, sir, Mr. Sharp.
Your Honor, regarding the state's assertion that we were put on notice about Mr. Boyer, there is a wiretap. That is true. We were provided the contents of the wiretap. That is also true. There's nothing in the wiretap. There's a phone number, which is what the state handed over on Monday, the contents of that phone number that shows contact through the wiretap. there was nothing linking that phone number to Mr. Boyer. I just want to make that clear.
Okay, thank
There's
you.
nothing that puts us on notice that Mr. Boyer is a person of interest or potentially at all involved or in contact with our clients in this case. And there was also, Mr. Harvey's also pointing out there was no raw data provided in the wiretap regarding the wiretap itself.
I guess when I said data, I meant the information from which they formed those conclusions.
I understand. We were aware of what numbers were calling what
You
numbers.
just
at what
weren't
time.
aware that whatever this number is
Right.
was connected. It's obviously somebody's, but y'all didn't know whose phone
Correct.
it was.
And I can state in my place as an officer of the court, upon information and belief, that I've listened to pretty much all those calls. I don't recall in any calls in the wiretap where that number's involved, anyone ever saying any government name that would put us on notice and say, oh, that's DeMarco Boyer's number. So we've been pretty diligent.
Okay, so Ms. Love,
Yes.
what do you say about that?
I'm not refuting the name, the person's name. I'm talking about the phone number whose records we turned over being present and the content of his conversations and communication.
Okay, so do you have the affidavit available?
That's what I'm getting.
By the time of the affidavit, but certainly by the time the cell records were secured in the fall of 2023, you knew that that phone number was connected to DeMarco Boyer, true?
That is true.
Okay, so is there a way that the defense would have also known that that phone number was connected to DeMarco Boyer?
If the court will permit me 1 second.
Go ahead.
Will the court permit one of our team members to step outside of the courtroom and make a phone call to expedite this obtaining?
Yeah, absolutely. Unless it's you are the one who needs to step out and you're the one in the midst of the argument. The rest of your team can do whatever they want to do. Okay?
And Your Honor, just from memory,
Yeah.
I do know and believe that there's a reference to not his given name, not his formal name, but to a nickname. I'm getting that information.
In the wiretap?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, as you can see, the state is lost for words and scrambling. But you're going to see how she tries to wiggle her way out of this situation. Let's continue.
This murder makes it a little less well, strike that. If y'all want to say anything else after we get those, then I will entertain it. Okay. All right. So in the meantime, let's keep plodding through this set of statements of Mr. Zachary's.
Date or a date certain for the court to inquire of a date certain on this issue before you.
On the debt, on the getting the affidavit and the search warrant?
No, on, I'm just, I'm sad saying that. I'm really hurt saying this, but this is not new. So a date, when Miss Love just said, oh, shoot, this is not a quote, but some effect of, oh, we must turn this over. That was before giving it to Agent Bernie. So what happened on that date of the oh shoot to we get it yesterday, and we don't get it with, oh, this is new stuff.
Good question.
So we are one team, but we have many members and parts. But I will get the date. But I can tell you that when I said that there was the realization that we do need to turn it over.
Yeah. When did that realization occur?
I will find out because it was not mine. It was not my realization.
Okay.
I'll find out. What I'm saying is,
who's in charge of the team?
I am. And so before it's mine, generally speaking, I'm saying that in terms of a date certain, there was communication internally. We looked at it. We were looking at everything we had to turn over, and we were looking at anything that we haven't turned over. Collectively, we realized, oh my goodness, this has not been done.
All right. And you don't know what date that happened?
No, that's what led to turning it over.
On Monday.
Yes, this weekend we were talking about it and we turned it over.
All right. So sometime over the weekend is when the realization occurred, oh my gosh, you knew you hadn't turned it over. Oh my gosh, we need to turn this over?
Oh my gosh, it has not been turned over and we need to turn it over.
Okay. And you're getting us the information about when we get the affidavit in for the search warrant for the cell records, we'll know the date that occurred.
That is correct.
Uh-huh.
We're working on that.
And it did not occur to anybody at that time that this is information to be shared with the defense.
When the court says at that point in time, you mean with the affidavit for the search warrant? When the search warrant for the records were obtained?
Yes. Right? I mean, obviously not, since
No, because-
you got them in the fall of 2023.
And because the information that the search warrant was based on had been provided. So,
Well-
we were thinking along those lines then.
Okay, had you at any point provided information that the phone number that y'all all know about from the affidavit and the nickname, which I think that's what it was, you were going to tell me what the nickname was, is actually DeMarco Boyer. Did you ever before Monday share that information?
No.
Okay. All right, what was the nickname?
Unk is
Unk.
the name that's listed on, I think in the wiretap, I think it's.
Okay.
That's. And I'm also seeing if there are any other nicknames associated with that number. There may be more than one. That's not uncommon. So I'm gonna. May I step to the door once more?
Yeah, and let me, before you step to the door, is there at this stage, which is mid-trial, anything else, whether Brady or not, that you think might be relevant to either the state or the defense in this case that you, the state, know of that the defense still does not know of? And you may want to huddle with whomever comprises your team, and y'all all put heads together and really, really, really think about that, and then get me an answer after lunch, okay? Can you do that? Okay. Yeah, just we'll recess in place until you come back from whatever you're going to find out at the door now. Thank you.
Let's listen in while the prosecution team make the case for the defense that Shannon did not unalive drinks by bringing in Boyer being at the gas station. Let's continue.
And so are you able to see on the documentation with the wiretap where a phone call is when that phone call is being placed?
The majority of the time, it's not always foolproof. Sometimes the location will blank out and you won't have a location, but typically you can click on the map icon and it will show you where the person whose phone calls are being intercepted is at that time. It'll give you an approximate location of what tower they're at, and it will show you an approximate radius of how close they are to that location.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, what day y'all pulled up? Nah, tag on video, hurry up. Tag on video. Okay. Rico?
Now, did you hear what occurred in that call?
Yes.
Did you hear someone tell someone to pick up, get on FaceTime? Did you hear on the phone call?
Basically telling someone to hurry up and call me on FaceTime.
Once you heard this phone call, were you ever able to do any investigation as to the phone number that made the call?
We were. It took it was difficult to identify the phone number for a little bit.
And did you eventually identify that phone number?
Eventually, yes.
Who did you identify that phone number belonging to?
A gentleman by the name of DeMarco Boyer, who goes by Lil Co.
And based on your investigation, did you ever learn what was that phone at the gas station as well?
It was.
Next, I'm going to show you a video of Mr. Drinks headed to the BP gas station. And guess what? It is a white car following him. Comment below and let me know what your thoughts is. Let's continue.
And what's this going to be showing?
And like I said, I think it's probably simpler for me to just talk because there's no sound.
Okay.
But in this portion of the video, Your Honor, when you're looking from here, you cannot see it. But if you look to the far left of the screen, that's the BP gas station.
Yeah.
Where Mr. Drinks was prior to his homicide.
Okay.
And see, even from this distance, I know it seems interesting, but he was able to see the specific times in which Mr. Drinks' vehicle, the Audi, and the other vehicle leave the gas station initially from the distance. This is something that may or may not come in, but that's what the purpose of those 5 minutes are.
Okay.
And then from here, what the testimony will be is Detective Hogan saw this video first. For this video, that is why he went down to the BP to actually get the actual surveillance video from the BP gas station and the other 3 locations.
Okay, so there you see the guy going to get in. That's the Fusion. He's getting the Fusion, and then that's the Audi. Those 2 white cars by the pump. And we're going to watch what they do. Somebody get in the back seat of the Fusion. Look like the other gentleman is pumping gas. Okay, he gets in the car. Okay, the guy came out the store, which supposedly is Shannon. He gets some gas. Fusion is waiting on Shannon. Okay, he got his gas, got in the car. In the Audi. Okay, somebody's getting back out of the Fusion. Going back in the store. Okay, Fusion driver is going back outside. Okay, here comes Mr. Drinks pulling up where the Audi was. The Audi has moved out of that spot. Okay, you see the Fusion driver going up to get in his car. You see Mr. Drinks sitting there inside his car still. Fusion driver is getting in the car. If somebody's in the back seat opened the door or the Fusion closed it, they didn't get out. They just opened it and shut it. Now I want you guys to pay attention. Pay close attention. We're going to see a white Charger show up to the gas station. But a white Charger's going to show up at that gas station. We waiting on it. Mr. Drink hasn't got out of his car yet. He's still in the car. I don't know if he felt something. He was up. I don't know. Okay, he gets out the car. Well, he's getting out the car. Mr. Drinks, his door is open. He's going inside. That's him with the orange shoes on. Orange or red, I'm not sure what color they are. But he dropped the money, picked it up off the ground. He digging in his pockets. I don't know what he looking for. Oh, I guess more money. Yep. He was looking for more money because he started giving the cashier some money. Okay. Not sure if he's talking to that guy in the hat, but he leaves out. Okay, back outside. We gotta start paying real close attention for that white Charger that shows up at the gas station. Okay, Drinks is going to the car. The gentleman he was talking to looked like he's going over to another gas pump way on the other end. Drinks is pumping his gas, going in and out of his car. Okay, now start paying attention. White Charger pulling in. Pay attention to that white car that just pulled in. It just pulls around and pulls back out. Go make a right. And it's going. It's up here at the top. That white Charger came in that gas station, looked, and went right back out. And if you pay attention to the top of the screen, that white Charger gonna come back. But he doesn't come back into the gas station. And I'm gonna try to stop it where he comes back so you can see it. It was like he was waiting, because he comes back through. You're going to see it at the top of the screen up here. There you go. See it? I'm gonna back it up. That white Charger came back. Let's see. I'm gonna try to stop it when I see that white Charger come back. My Charger right there coming in the gas station. Just rolls through. And he makes a right. Okay. Now he's gonna come back in frame again. Right there. He just passed back by again, slowing down. He's on his brakes up here at the top. That Charger, that white Charger on the brakes looking. See, it's going by the top. And it makes a left. Now Mr. Drinks is leaving. Out he leaves out behind it. Then the Fusion. And then that's when they go to this video here. That police officer that's on the stand, he didn't complete his homework on every car that was around. See up here at the top, you can see the cars are passing. He was cutting the video too short. He should have paid attention to every car that came and went through that gas station. He didn't do that. He did not do that because that Charger came, didn't get no gas. This was like, peeping out the spot.
I think it's fair to say you saw a car making a U-turn on the video and you saw it was a little odd.
Yes.
It piqued your interest?
Well, it just, I wouldn't say it piqued my interest. It just went with the situation, I guess.
I think you said you thought on direct, you testified, you thought that the person driving that car may have heard or seen something, correct?
Yes, I did.
And the reason you say that is because that person driving that car abruptly made a U-turn.
Yes.
Okay. That's that's red Versa pulling up, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that would be the white Audi.
Yes,
And that would be the white Fusion pulling up on the right lane, correct?
that's correct.
That's not the car that makes the U-turn, is it?
No, sir, I don't believe so.
Okay. And Mr. Stillwell is now running the light. He's no longer there, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. We see. Now this car pulls up and makes that interesting U-turn, correct?
Yes, sir.
And your determination is maybe they did that because they may have seen or heard something, correct?
Maybe.
Okay. I have no further questions. Thank you.